Hey guys, Casual Chrono here. Do you want those Iayahi star charts? And I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly. Well, here is a 4-person team that might work for you. The pledges. You need Akane in the party. You need 4 or fewer allies. You can't use an ally that deploys a zone. So a lot of allies that automatically produce zones are out of the question. So 4 characters. I chose Sesta, Yuna, Shani, and Akane. She's required. Sidekicks, I used Tetra and Moke. I noticed halfway through the fight my mana was getting a little low, so if you have characters like Kumos, they might actually work a little better for the extra MP regen and everything. But let's try it with Kumos this time. What's he equipped with? Healing Jewel. Perfect. So here's the team. 4 people. Akane, yes, I could boost her to 80, but I haven't, so I just threw her in the back. So I'm actually 3-manning this. Stella. Alright. Akane, 4 or fewer, no zone. So the way this fight works, it's kind of sort of a waiting game a little bit. It is possible to do damage pretty much any given turn. I've noticed there's been a few turns where Sesta or someone will cut through with some damage. However, after about 3-ish turns, he drops his defenses, and that's a good time to strike too. So we are going to... Shani is Stellar Awakened, so she's already cast Faded Love, so I'm going to Malediction. I am going to start stacking Burnaways. And Sesta's just going to kind of chill for right now. Now because he attacks twice, Shani counters twice and reduces his power and intellect through her counterattack. Yuna has already stacked a Burnaway. So we are looking right now at a reduction of power and intellect, and power and intellect stacked twice already. So we have both of those skills, so we're going to Toadstream. I could continue Divine Utterance, or I could do Divine Vessel if she's Stellar Awakened. Divine Vessel is kind of nice. It stacks Burnaway and Inspired at the same time. And Sesta will continue just chilling, biding her time, waiting to strike. You'll notice the turtle's damage is significantly less now. This is turn 3. We'll just go ahead and redo Faded Love right now. Invoked Spirit, which will inflict pain on the enemy. And biding our time. Alright, this message, his resistance has decreased. Now is a great time to strike. So we are going to blow the AF gauge. I'll probably work in 1 Malediction if I can, but I'm basically just going to blow it, Wicked Wolf Sweep, Divine Vessel, and Toadstream, at least at first. Twin Blade. Malediction. And 1 life point has been lost. If there was a zone, the boss would have broken it, but of course, for the pledges, we can't have a zone. And none of the characters are capable of making one, so that's not going to be an issue. Alright, with the next life point, the boss is still debuffed, so we can continue just doing what we're doing. So we will Divine Vessel, a little Toadstream, and whatever we feel like doing. Wicked Wolf Sweep. The turn after, the boss is vulnerable to damage. So you could blow a Divine Wolf on this turn and cause him to lose another life point. And in fact, I probably should have done that, but this is only the second time I've fought this guy. Now that his shell is up and countering again, we're just kind of biding our time. So we are going to redo Fated Love. We have all the stacks possible, and there's no reason to buff the party quite yet. So Divine Vessel and Wicked Wolf Sweep, because why not? The boss is still not much of a threat damage-wise. So now we will Malediction. We'll go ahead and Divine Utterance just for the party buff. And yeah, why don't we Crusher Blow this time? Alright, I believe it's the turn after fire that he drops his defenses, so we can just kind of do whatever we feel like doing again. The boss is doing 2-digit damage right now between buff inversion, burn away stacks, and Shaney's counterattacks. So the boss is not a threat at all. Alright. Could blow the Stellar gauge, but let's just go ahead and Twin Blade, Divine Vessel, and Toadstream. Okay, the boss is going to consume another life point. Now remember that following a life point, the boss is vulnerable at the moment. And we now have an AF gauge to work with. So we use another Divine Wolf, use this opportunity to rebuff a little bit. And there we go. Nice, easy, smooth kill if you have these 3 characters. Kumos, not necessarily required. He was just helpful keeping their mana up. But as I said, the previous fight I used Tetra, and Tetra did fine on heals. I mean, the team was never really in danger of being defeated. But I noticed their MP was about half by the end of the fight. So if I had used a longer stall technique, it's possible this team might have run out of MP at some point. So that would be all 3 pledges cleared. The team itself. Sesta, another style. She is equipped in a traditional fashion. Elpis, Dryads. I had a plus 50 power badge. As you could tell, you could easily get away with less if you don't have a power badge that strong, and your standard Pain series of Grasta. My Sesta does have the enhanced Fenrir proof Grasta, which does add a little bit of power and everything else. Not sure how necessary that is. Yuna, equipped for defenses. She had 7,300 health. Not that she was in danger of getting knocked out at any point. I tend to have her with the Steely Resolve badge for the hold ground, just in case. But as you saw, as long as you get a few stacks of burn away in, honestly, I don't think her gear really matters at all. And she just has your standard 5 intellect spirit proof. Shani, Elpis, Grace. Now she has a plus 60 luck badge. If you don't have a luck badge that high, you know, even a 25 luck badge or a plus 20 to all stats would probably be perfectly fine. And then her Grasta, 3 HPs and equipped with HP ore. She also just has a regular Briar Rose proof, awakened just enough to give her 300 extra health and 5 luck. Akane's in the back, didn't have any gear, was just along for the ride. Is Stellar Awakening required? Yuna's Stellar Awakening Divine Vessel was helpful. It quickly stacks burnaways and inspired at the same time, so it gives the party 1500 extra health and reduces the boss by 150 intellect and power. You don't need Divine Vessel to stack the burnaways, which was the important thing. If you have Divine Utterance, that's really all you need. And Invoked Spirit was the source of pain. So, is her Stellar Awakening required? Probably not. Without her Stellar Awakening, I would probably give her... where is it? Iridescent Blessing, which provides an MP regen, which really frees you up to use whatever sidekick you want. It does not give her an attack, however, if you use those 3 things. Technically, you have Invoked Spirit, so that would probably be what you'd be spamming in an AF burst. So I don't think her stellar skills are required, but the buff inverse definitely helps control damage. Shani Altar. Is her stellar skill required? Toadstream. It does reduce wind type resistance, which is nice. And her stellar ability gives her, or gives the party Fated Ground right at the start of the fight, so it saves you a little bit of time casting. But I don't really think her stellar skill is needed either. So you could probably get away with both of them just being level 80. Sesta. Is her stellar skill required? Well, as you saw, we never did burst at all, so obviously the Wolfheart release burst isn't required. Again, it's nice to have. The first strike is pointless because for the first few turns the boss isn't taking any damage anyway. So I really think this fight could be done with 3 non-stellared characters. Sesta AS normal, Yuna normal, and Shani normal, not Stellar Awakened. I also kind of think that if you have Sesta normal style, you could probably get away with it as well. If you do that though, I guess it's impossible because Akane is not a wind character, but Sesta normal style does deploy a Wind King stance, so if you're not paying attention to the pledges, I guess it's possible to have a zone, but if you have Akane, if you have Akane in any form, she is not a wind character, she is a fire character, so Sesta's zone really shouldn't be an issue anyway. And Akane might be helpful in the fight, I don't know. I don't know what her level 80 skills are or anything like that. Just looking at her level 60, it looks like it's pretty much just self-buffs, which doesn't really help the team at all. So there you go. If you have Sesta AS, Yuna, and Alter Shani, you'll probably be fine for this challenge. Are there other combinations? Yes. Are there other YouTubers that probably have done this with free characters? Yes. But this is what I turned to first. The combination of Shani and Yuna are great for reducing incoming damage. And that's really all this boss had, and he didn't really have that much to begin with. So anyway, hope this helps. Casual Crono. signing out.